Hello, everyone. Again, before I even start, I just want to apologize. I don't know what happened. I guess password was set up or some kind of security, and that's why I'm starting a little bit late. But you know what? It's going to be short and sweet, and hopefully, everybody will get something. So thank you for being here. This is the Dr. India Desnia show where I share resources to help SMEs thrive, which is small and medium-sized enterprises or small and medium-sized businesses. You can say that. Okay, so today I have another interesting topic, you know, and the topic is boosting using constructive criticism to boost staff morale. All right, using constructive criticism, okay, to boost staff morale. Now, um, let me why is it important? First of all, let's even before I get into this, short tip, right? Why do you think it's important to boost staff morale? Okay, let me tell you why. It's not only about the staff's paycheck. Now, I know you might say, okay, but I don't have a staff yet. You might be a small business just starting up, but you know what? The goal is to have at least a staff. Eventually, you don't want to burn yourself out. When you grow, you get a staff, you get people working with you, right? So that, or working for you so that you can delegate, right? You don't want to have so much, to do, and you're not focusing on where your talent is supposed to be. You're doing administrative work, doing all kinds of, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not that's not supposed to happen, right? So the goal is to eventually have staff if you don't have, but if you do have, you know, again, how to use constructive criticism. Forgive me if I'm saying it in a funny way, but how to use that to boost staff morale. Again, why is it important to boost staff morale? You know, many staff people are not only looking at, okay, this is a good paying job. They want to be happy. They want to really enjoy their job, right? And a lot of times I see that, I mean, let's say there are two sides of the coins. Somebody might say, you know what, I really don't want to correct these people because I don't want them to leave me. I don't want them to, it was so hard to get such a good start, but I really don't want to do that, to really correct them so that they will just not get mad and leave. So on the flip side would be, you know what, the person corrects and is very, anything the person, the boss or the owner of the company just goes off and gets angry and that. There are two extreme cases, and both of them are not right. Right? They're not right. Now, let's look at the first scenario. You don't want to correct your staff. Why? I mean, do you want them to continue making mistakes and then bring your business down the drain? Oh, you want to, why would you not do that? Why would you let them be? So that's first side of the coin, not right. Because if you don't correct, if your staff, if they don't do better, right, what happens? They continue making mistakes, and which can cause your business to have a lot of problems. It could be legal problems. It could be getting losses that are not supposed to be there, expenses that are not, just running the business just runs amok. Like it just, you know, bring things that are not aligned with what your goal is to, or your goal was to get into the business or currently is, right? The flip side is when somebody never sees the good part of what that person is doing, what another person is doing, always criticizing, always, oh, what's going on? What's going on? We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to be your view too, right? So, but it's very important for us to know how to correct, right, constructively. Very important, and that's where this topic comes from. Now, what is it to correct? You know, you know, criticize in a good way, constructively, right? Well, when you do that, you have to make sure that there are three parts of this correction, right? First of all, it's specific, it's actionable, and of course, it's positive. It's like it's a positive correction. It's not, I mean, you can correct somebody, even though the person did something bad, but it's how you correct. How do you speak to the person? That's what makes the big difference. You know, I mean, it's important to really have to make sure your staff, they feel happy with you. It's not all about, oh yeah, I'm giving them a good paycheck. People walk away from good paychecks because they're not happy with their environment, right? and you want your staff to stay long, right? I have a show that I talked about um that that staff turnover, that is losing staff all the time, is very expensive, right? Why give for example, why are we looking at it that, oh, why is it expensive? You know, you're going to go and look for another staff. That is your time. You know, people, we don't cost our time. Yes, that's your our time. The second thing that would happen is that the money that background checks and all kinds of check and references, that's your time and money too. Right. And what about when the staff comes? No matter, even if the person is experienced, you have a way of doing your stuff, right? You have to train the staff, right? So there's downtime. You still have to pay the staff for training. So there's downtime. So you have to train that staff. You understand? You have to train the staff. So that is expensive. So, I mean, why don't you just, of course, you hire the right person, which I have a show. I mean, I would advise you to go and watch the show where you know how to, retain staff. There are a couple of things I put out there. But what I just am expanding on really, Riley, really correcting somebody in a way that, yes, they'll take that correction, but they also will feel, they will not feel that, you're taking them for granted, or that you're mean, or not nice, or like that. I mean, I'm not saying that you should, I mean, you shouldn't be stern. I didn't say that. But I'm saying that, how do you correct, right? So now, for example, usually, when somebody does something bad, always start with the good aspect of it. Oh yes, maybe the person is good with relating with people, but person has an issue with meeting deadlines, right? Oh yeah, you know what? I like the way you are, you're interacting with the team, but that's some that, not even a but um there are some things I just need you to, to step up a little bit and look at, some of the deadlines you miss, and this is why it's important, right? And if you need help from me, the business owner, let me know how I can support, so that making sure. Some people might say, you know what, send me, or or you can even, for example, let's even use as typical scenario. You might say, you know what, why don't you put it on your calendar, set it up maybe a week before? Because for me, there are some things I put on my calendar, and I set a reminder, some a week before, some a day before. It depends on what the task is, right? That might be a way you can actually encourage for that specific scenario. You are really, first of all, complimenting the staff. It might not it might not be team effort that he has, or there's something positive about this staff, right? Oh, you know what? That's you know what? I really liked what you did with that project. You did such an awesome job. I mean, really outstanding, and really kudos. I mean, it made a difference, right? Very good. But there's a project that you missed out because there's some aspects that you didn't add, right? So it's important that you do that. Let's see how we can make sure it doesn't happen again. You see, I mean, first of all, it's praise, right? And then specific. Now, if you tell somebody go and improve, what does that mean? That's not a specific statement. Improve what? What are you improving? What? That's not a specific. What is that? How? What is? You go and get better. I'm going to improve. Yeah, and that's not But when you've seen the example I use regarding adding something on your calendar so that you won't miss. That's action, right? Right? Specific things. You missed this. This is something you didn't do, right? And of course, it's positive. I'm not here to bring anybody down, and a lot of times business owners do that in front of people. They look for ways to bring bring somebody in put somebody in a bad position because the person made a mistake or did something that was not right. So it's very important that you as a business owner know how to actually correct your staff. Is very important. Boost their morale, right? So them, I mean, not physically pat them on the back, please. No, 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 no. Pat yourself on the back. That's fine. But I'm going to be patting. So I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean, right? Commend them, right? Then move on to speak about what is it that they need to correct. What do they need to do better? All right. Those are the things that it's very, I mean, who would, I mean, think of it. You would like to be, you treat people how you want to be treated, right? Even if you're the boss, right? When people start working for me, I actually start by talking to them and say, right, I mean, I have an open door policy. Any issue, please come to me, right? And if when I say any issue, it could be any, I mean any issue regard, even if they have some personal issues that they need to take time off, that's okay. Things happen, especially when somebody is, the person doesn't do this. This is not something that is usual. So, things like that. But the most important thing is making sure that there's feedback coming. Well, feedback, that's what we're looking at, but communication, right? Back and forth. You want your staff to be happy. You don't want to spend so much money with staff turnover. So the goal is make your staff happy. Or even if you've not hired yet, prepare for this your staff, right? So having all this knowledge, right? When the person comes, you know what to do. I know people that staff, it's not about the pay. They stay there. They have been there with 10, 5, 10. They don't care. They just like the environment. All right. So it's important that you look at it that way. All right. Because you really don't want to um to tell your staff, to continue change your staff every week, every month. You don't want that to happen. All right. And of course, this is for general information purposes, educative purposes. It's good for you to, seek professional, a profession, counseling for, not counseling, um, consultation from a professional, right? And of course, if you don't have a CPA that's currently working with you, yes, you can, just go to my website and then connect with me and then set up a consultation and we can work through this. But of course, remember, for your business to thrive, for any SME to thrive, what happens? The business owner, you must be intentional about it. You must be intentional. All right. Thanks for having me. And again, sorry about the technical issues. We, it happens. Technology happens. We love it, but sometimes things happen. All right. Have a good one. Wonderful. And thank you for being here. Wonderful having you all today. Again, see you next time. Bye for now.